Hey everybody, Bill Sky, the encryption guy, and what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about digital signatures, how to digitally sign text, and how to digitally sign a file. And we're going to do this on Windows. The last two videos we did on Linux, but you're going to see how it's exactly the same on Windows. You use the command line or the PowerShell, or the command prompt or the PowerShell instead of the terminal, but it's exactly the same thing. So if you're on Linux, no problem. If you're on Mac, no problem. All of the commands are the same. I'll be using Cleopatra on Windows. On Mac, I believe you have to use GPG front end or just the command line on a Mac. On Linux, you can use any of them. So let's get right to it. Okay, so first of all, what is a digital signature? Well, let's go ahead and sign some text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my command prompt here. And I'm going to go into my Documents folder. I'm going to go into my GPG keys. And you can see I've got all of my keys. I've got my exported keys, both my private and my public, and I also have my revocation certificate. Now, if you don't know what those are, go back and take a look at the previous video on setting up your keys, and I go through all of that. But what does it mean to actually sign a file? Well, to actually sign a file or sign text, what you're doing is you are creating what they call a hash identifier for the data that you're going to be signing. That value is then appended or prepended or whatever you call it when you append it first in front of your actual digital signature for your key, your private key or your public key, and then it's attached to that file. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this is on Cleopatra. GPG front end has something very, very similar, but a really neat little tool that Cleopatra has is I can go over here to the notepad and I can type in some text. So this is some text. Hope you enjoy it. Now I'm going to press enter. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to sign the notepad. Now, why would you do this? Why would you create text inside of Cleopatra's notepad and then sign it? Well, you might want to be sending a validated message, a signed message via email, clear text, to your friend or whoever, and you want to actually sign it using text and then just copy and paste it using Notepad, then just copy and pasting it into your email program. So I'm going to go ahead and click Sign Encrypt. And it's going to ask me what is the name or what is the password. I'm going to just put in my password for my key. And you can see right here that this is an actual, not only is it signed, but it's also encrypted. So what I can now do is I can copy all of this and I can paste it into an email and then send it. And then so what happens is that the user that receives that message then verifies it to make sure it was sent by me, and then they know for sure that was from me. So that's one way to do it. Now you can go over here to recipients, and I can drop down who's going to be getting this. And in this case, it's just I'm going to sign it as Windows user. And I'm going to turn off encrypt for others. So this will so again, signing is not necessarily also mean encrypting. Now, I'm not really sure how Cleopatra works. Does it actually do the signing and the encryption at the same time? It may definitely do that. I wonder if I can go up here to Tools. Let's see. Let's go back to Notepad. And I'm going to revert that. So there we go. So can I actually go in here and just say sign it? No, I don't see a way to just sign it. It's sign and encrypt it. So Cleopatra does have some of its limits. Let's go ahead and do this on the command line. I believe GPG front end may be able to do this, but let's go ahead and just do something here. All right, so I'm going to go to my documents. And I'm going to edit a file called message.txt. And you can use any editor you want. I'm using Vim. And I'm just going to say, hello there. This is a secret message by Bill. All right. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now if I look at my documents, you can see my message.txt. I'm going to go ahead and sign it. Now there's two ways to sign it. I'm going to clear sign it. And I'm also going to binary sign it. And when I take a look at it, my clear sign is message.txt.asc, and my binary sign is message.txt.gpg. So let's go ahead and just say type. In Linux, you'd say cat, same in Mac. What happened here? Oh, I keep using this dash dot slash. Let's just do that. Okay. So here's what a digital signature looks like. So here is my text. That is the text that I'm sending the user. And here's my actual digital signature. Now something else that you're going to see here is you're going to see this hash. This hash is the method at which this text has been given a numeric value that is then added to my signature data. So if I were to go in here and change this somehow, and then after signing it, and then I send it to someone, and then they verify it, it's going to come back and say that's not a verifiable signature. And we're going to get into that later on. But so your signed data is going to have not only the data in it, the message in it, but it's also going to have the signature. And then the user can validate that. And the way that they validate it is they just say verify. So let's type that command. So let's make sure we're there. Okay, so I'm going to say GPG verify message.txt.asc. And you can see right here that what it did was GPG looked at the hash value and the signature, recalculated it based on the public key of me, and then said, okay, that is a definite signature. You can see it right there. Good signature from Windows user. Okay, this is a warning you can just ignore for right now. We're going to talk more about that later. Okay, so now I can go ahead and also do the GPG. And it told me the same thing. So the GPG file is not encrypted. It's my message in binary format, binary format. And if I went ahead and said type message.txt.gpg, it would just look like garbage. I mean, some of it is there. You can see right here. Hello there, this is a secret message by Bill. But most of it is stored in binary, and it doesn't quite look the same as it did in the clear text. So it depends. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. But now, if we take a look at this, if we take a look at the size of the files, though, the binary version of the file is a little bit smaller, actually by 30% or so. So yeah, it's definitely smaller than the clear text. So it depends upon what you want to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit that clear text. So I'm going to say vim message.txt.asc. Now, you would never normally do this, right? But I'm just trying to make a point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this. Just add some text. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to add some text. I'm going to save it. Now, you would never do that. You would normally edit your message.txt file, re-sign it, and then send it. But I'm going to pretend like I got a hold of that file and I'm an obnoxious person, and I'm going to actually change its contents and let you think that Bill, actually signed it. Well, let's go ahead and verify it now. Oops, bad signature. Why did we get a bad signature? Well, we got a bad signature because the hash value that was generated from the text that I had originally typed in was part of that hexadecimal junk that you saw in the signature part of the file. And when I tried to verify that text file again using the verify command, it recalculated and found that the values didn't match. The hash of the old version did not match the hash of the new one. So somebody messed with that file on the way to the recipients. All right, now of course I'm not the recipient, but let's say I want to download a file and make sure that that file is accurate, it hasn't been changed on its way over to me. Because yes, people can have network sniffers, they can mess with your data, they can screw things up. That's why signatures are so valuable. Is that if you even change one character inside of the data, the hash will not generate correctly anymore, and then you'll get an invalid signature. And that's why we see right here, bad signature. So we can say, okay, hey, Windows user, hey Bill, something happened to your message, then it got to me, would you send it again? Because I don't trust what I received there. So that's how you would use something like that to make absolutely sure. And this process also works with the non-clear. If I go back and I do a directory, whoops. If I go back and do a directory, I could actually do the same thing. I could somehow modify the binary data inside of message.txt.gpg. And it's not just the clear, it's also the binary encrypted files. Okay, so what's a real world example of this? All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Now I could do this from Cleopatra or GPG front end, but I'm going to do it from my command line here. And I'm going to get rid of all these message dots. So let's say delete message dot asterisk dot asterisk. All right, great. So I'm going to create a file. I'm going to say vim message to my wife. Just putting some text in there. Okay, so I want to send my wife a message, but I want to make sure that when she gets it, she knows it's from me. All right, so I'm going to save that file, and again, I could use any one I want. And I'm going to say, there it is, message to Sue.txt. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign it. And I'm just going to leave it clear sign. So I'm just going to say GPG clear sign message to Sue.txt. Okay, and there it is right there. And now what I'm going to do is so what I would do, and I don't have my email set up on this particular Windows system. So what I would do now is I would say, well, let's see. Let's see if I've got email here. Yep, I've got the mail app. So let's go ahead and I don't think I set up an ID on here. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to use my Google account. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new email. And I don't care if you have my email. And so I'm going to say, okay, and now I can do one of two things. I can either go in here and attach that file. So let me see. I don't think I've used this email program before. Well, okay, I can either attach the file, or what I'm going to do here I'm just going to go ahead and display it, and then I'm going to select everything in that file, copy it, and then I'm going to paste it. Now this way, Sue will see that and say, oh, okay, gave me that information. Okay, I know everything that's going on with the ring. However, how do I really know that's from Bill? So now some email programs will allow me to verify the signature automatically. I'm not sure if this Windows Mail does or not, but some will allow me to do that, and we may talk about that in a future video. Or what she can do is once she gets this email, she can then just select all, copy, and paste it. I might be able to even copy and paste that into Cleopatra, but I could copy it into a text editor, save the file, and verify it, and there you go. So it would then be verified. So that's a possible thing that you can do. The other thing you can do, as I said earlier, is that you can actually insert. So I could actually go to insert a file. I could go to the file where it's located, message to Sue. There it is right there. So now I don't have to do all this. I don't have to copy and paste all of that in there. And then just send it. And then what she can do is, depending upon the email program she has, she can just open it up and decrypt it. Or she can just look at the text if she doesn't care about the signature, whatever. So it might seem like a lot of trouble to go through all of this, but if you remember, the situation we're in right now is that everybody's trying to get your information, everybody's trying to spam people, everybody's trying to imitate other people. I shouldn't say everybody, but there's a lot of bad players out there that are doing that. And this is a way that you can make absolutely sure that what you're sending, people are receiving what you actually sent, really from you, and they're not trying to imitate you. So if somebody were to send a message to, let's say, Sue, my wife, and she then verified that to see if that was really me, it'd say, no, it's not really her. Or it's not really him. It's not really my husband. So I'm not going to go ahead and believe whatever that they wrote. So that's why digital signatures are so important. And you can add digital signatures to any type of a file. We're going to be doing that later on in future videos. But this is a simple example of what digital signatures are all about with GPG encryption. Okay, so there we go. There was an introduction to digitally signing messages, text, and files. Hope you found it very interesting. The next video, we're going to actually talk about really encryption, encrypting the data, and also encrypting and signing it. We're going to be doing both of those. That's going to be a pretty long video, so you may want to, I'm going to go ahead and put in chapters in there to make it easy for you to go back and forth and only look at those parts that you're interested in. But it's a really good idea to pay attention or to watch the entire video, because I'm liable to say something that is going to be valuable to you, even if it's not something that you're specifically looking for. So until then, hope to see you in that next video.